Hi everyone, I'm Lisa from Pretty Fabulous, and this is day 2 of your InDesign mini course. So the first thing you're going to want to do is either open up the application from the cloud, or you can open it up from your Launchpad over here. Either one works just fine, and it will do the exact same thing. Now, if you're using InDesign for the first time, you're going to see this screen where it says new or it says open. If you choose the option to say new, a lot of Adobe InDesign courses will walk you through what each of these areas mean, and I'm not going to because it doesn't really matter. Just leave the defaults as they are, and the only two important things you need to know is letter, legal, tabloid, what size is this? Now, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be using a regular letter size. That's 8.5 by 11. And if you are taking my do-it-yourself Adobe do-it-yourself planner course, we're probably going to be using A4. But for this, you're going to leave it just as is. Like I said, you're not going to change any of the defaults. Over here where it says facing pages, that should be checked. You can uncheck it, but we're going to leave it checked, just like I said. So you're just going to say okay. Now, these lines here are what we call the guides, those purple and pink lines, and there's really nothing you can do right now to get rid of them. So we're not going to start from scratch. We're actually going to open an InDesign template, and I'm going to show you how to use InDesign's workspace and tools from there. Whoops. So weekly layout. So you'll notice now, if you do not have every single font that is installed on a particular document, you will get this missing fonts error message. For the most part, it's going to find a suitable substitute. Now, I know I have all of these fonts because I actually created this program, so I'm not too worried about this, so I'm just going to say close. You'll notice up here where it says Typekit is on. Typekit is a feature of Adobe where it allows you to use many different types of fonts, not just the ones that are installed on your computer. Now, if you purchase the single license of Adobe InDesign, which I believe is $19.99 a month or $29.99 a month, depending on whether you pick monthly or the annual plan, you will not be able to use Typekit. It is only available for those who purchase the full suite of the Creative Cloud. I'll show you how to use that in a different video. Now, sleep lesson though, if you wanted to sync any of these fonts, you could do that, but we don't really care, so I'm just going to say close and not worry about it. Now, this is my layout for a planner. It's obviously a weekly planner. And if you look, I'm pretty far down. If you look over on the right, it's going to take me forever to get to the top. I'm obviously on August, so I want to do that a little faster. So I'm going to go over here to the right where it says pages, and I'm going to click that. Now, if you don't see this on the right, another pet peeve I have whenever I take an InDesign course, sometimes they'll say to click something, but my workspace doesn't actually look like the instructor's workspace. Go up here to Window and drop down to where it says Pages. And once that's checked, you should be able to see a mini thumbnail of all the pages that you see here in this big workspace. So I can simply go up here, and remember we said facing pages, so that means there's a left and a right page. And I can go double click on any of these, and that's what will show up here in my workspace. So this is the #1 workspace area that you will want to use. All of your workspace areas can be found here under Window. Over here under Workspace, they have what's called a predefined layout of different tools that you'll see on the right. So right now we have Essentials. I typically like to choose Typography, and you'll see the Workspace menu will change. So I would recommend when you open up InDesign, go to Window, go to Workspace, and select Typography. Now, anything else that you need that you don't see in here, you'll notice is already on the left. So you could force Layers, which is over here under Pages, to open up right away by going to Window and going to Layers. Or I can simply go over here to Pages or click on Layers, and you'll see over here it's selected as well. So that's your panel selection over here on the right side. Now on the left side over here, the main tools that you're going to need to use are this first one. It's called your selection tool. This is what you should think of as the main selection tool. It's like the stronger tool versus this selection tool. It's called the direct selection tool, and it's kind of like a mini tool. So if there's an object inside of an object, this will select the object inside of there, whereas this huge selection tool, the larger one, will select everything, the frame and everything that goes with it. So when in doubt, always use the main selection tool. Now, you'll notice this menu up here at the top will change based on the tools that you pick over here on the left. So as you see, as I'm clicking through, this menu's changing. All right, these are two important tools. The third most important tool that you're going to use is the type tool, because that is going to allow you to type text. And I'm pretty sure you're going to want to have some words to say somewhere, or you're going to want to edit a template if you have one. The fourth tool I want you to get familiar with is the line tool. And there's a little trick to the line tool, which is a little odd. And the line tool, so let's say we want to draw a line here. You need to go to the top and give that line some weight. If that line does not have any weight, you will not be able to see it. So here it has 1 point, and it's sort of like a rainbow color. I can change this to be thicker and make it 40 points, which is obviously much larger, but maybe I just want something medium, like a 5 point. Over here to the left of that is the fill, and this is what's called the stroke, and that is the border around it. So I actually don't need any sort of stroke, but this fill is a little odd. I don't want a rainbow. Maybe I just want to make it purple to go with the rest. Now you'll look over here to the right and see where it says 0. It's almost like there's no fill. There's no stroke at all. So this happens a lot to new people. They'll draw a line, they won't see anything, and it's because they forgot to give that stroke some weight. So let's do that again. Let's draw a line. I want to make it purple, and I'm also going to make it a 5 point line. Oh, and I don't want a stroke. So go over here, change it back. And once I unselect it, there we go, it's still there. All right, so the type tool is a little different than the type tool in other programs. You don't want to think of it as a mouse where you simply put the cursor down and something happens. You actually have to draw a text box. So we're going to go over text later, but if you're trying to use this right now to edit something, just make sure the type tool is selected, and then you can click on any of these in here, and I could change this if I wanted to February or whatever I want. All right, so the next tool that I think you should be familiar with is the shape tool. And if you go over here and you right click on it, you'll see that it has a rectangle, an ellipse, or a polygon. So there are 3 different tools, and we'll talk about those later because we can actually put images inside those tools and shape them around to however we want. We can also adjust the width and the height manually if we want. All right. So other than that, there's a lot of different other tools in here. I would say for the most part, ignore them. You don't need them. They do some fancy things, which I don't think you're going to need to edit some basic documents and get you up and running. So that's all you need to know for today. This is your workspace. Oh, one other thing, this one actually came through okay, but sometimes you'll see this will be purple, but maybe it doesn't come through as a strong purple. You'll go over here to View, and I would select Overprint Preview. And what that does is, one, it uses more memory on your computer, so a lot of people don't do that. And also over here under View Display Performance, you could pick high quality display. If you pick a fast display, so let's say I don't want to turn on Overprint Preview, this is actually still fine. So that's it today for Lesson 2. And I'll see you tomorrow for Lesson 3 when we're actually going to talk about how to edit text in your document.